Good afternoon, everybody. I'm meteorologist Beau Dodson. It's been a while since we've had any significant weather in the region, but we may have some over the next 24 to 48 hours. So let's take a quick look at what's going on. The Storm Prediction Center has outlined a slight risk for severe thunderstorms extending from St. Louis all the way down to almost to New Orleans. And then this covers most of our region, even the areas outside of this risk, say over to Evansville, the rest of West Kentucky. Consider yourself in and close to the risk area, so there could be some severe thunderstorms even outside this yellow boxed area. Now the green area around that outline, that indicates where general thunderstorms are expected, but mostly below severe limits. But keep in mind, once again, as I said, areas just to the east of this slight risk could also see some severe thunderstorms. Remember that a severe thunderstorm, according to the National Weather Service, is one that produces 58-mile-per-hour wind gusts or higher, 1-inch diameter hail or larger, and or a tornado. So let's take a look at the probabilities that the SPC has put out today for tornadoes, and you see they've enhanced the little area here in Arkansas into southern Missouri. That is where they expect the best potential for a couple of tornadoes, and then they've outlined an area around that brown box as well. We could see some isolated spin-ups further east. That's something we're going to have to watch. It would be early in the morning. We're thinking right now 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 a.m. in the morning, again from west to east. So Poplar Bluff would be impacted first by these thunderstorms, and then they would roll east towards, say, Marion, Evansville, Paducah, Murray, Nashville eventually later tomorrow morning. Let's take a look at the wind probabilities, and again they've got a pretty decent risk zone here from Arkansas to southern Missouri where they expect the best chances for high or damaging winds, and then the rest of this have been outlined as well for damaging wind gusts. And we take a look at hail, and they're really not expecting this to be a hail producer. These should be low topped thunderstorms. Typical in the winter time, we see these dynamic systems, but they don't have a lot of instability to work with, but they've got strong wind fields, and so with that combination you can get damaging wind gusts, which is the primary concern, as you see here, according to the Storm Prediction Center. So let's dig a little bit deeper into this system using rightweather.com, and let's look at the high resolution model here. And here's your area of low pressure that's developing out in the Oklahoma Panhandle, Texas Panhandle. This is going to track towards the northeast over the coming 24 hours, and it's going to deepen as it moves northeast. That is going to pull up moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. Remember, these low pressure areas spin counterclockwise, so you're pulling moisture upward ahead of it, you're pulling in cold air behind it. Your snow is going to be back here, your thunderstorms will be ahead of the cold front. Here we are. This is West Kentucky right here, this is southern Illinois, southeast Missouri, western Tennessee, in case you can't see the map. So let's track that as we move through the overnight hours. This is around midnight. You see a 993 millibar low north of Springfield, Missouri. That's going to continue to track northeast into the morning hours, and here we are around 6 or 7 a.m. and you see that area of low pressure just north of St. Louis, 991 millibars, and you see this pink and purple and blue area. That would be your line of showers and thunderstorms that will form ahead of the cold front. Low pressure here, cold front draped to the south, snow back here. If you have travel plans to Iowa, northern Illinois, central Illinois, Wisconsin, even back into Kansas and parts of Missouri, you will want to check ahead with your official National Weather Service forecast to make sure that there aren't any travel problems. For our region tomorrow morning, though, we're going to watch that line of thunderstorms, and here we go into the 6, 7, 8 a.m. time period, and you see the line continuing to march eastward through our region. Again, this is Indiana up here, West Kentucky, down into Louisiana, line of showers and thunderstorms. As we move into late morning tomorrow, that line will move out of the region, and there may be some wraparound moisture. I can't rule out some flurries or light snow showers across mainly the northern half of our area. Let's say from just north of Cape Girardeau to Marion to Evansville northward. Not so sure about any of those snow showers making it further south. Either way, not expected to be a big deal, but more of a novelty snow shower. The big deal is that strong gusty winds, colder temperatures will usher in behind this low pressure area, as it tracks to the northeast. Let's take a look at dew point. Now this is how much moisture is in the air. We like to look at dew point when we're forecasting severe thunderstorms. You see these dark colors down in the Gulf of Mexico. You're looking at 60, 70 degree dew points, and that's pretty high. In the wintertime, we like to look for 50, 55, 60 dew points. That's plenty sufficient for thunderstorms. Watch as we go through this afternoon. Again, remember that low counterclockwise, pulling the moisture. You can almost imagine it here on this graphic, pulling the moisture northward as we move through the overnight hours, and just pulls enough moisture in our region for us to be concerned about a couple of severe thunderstorms. Now, keep in mind that we are expecting widespread showers and thunderstorms. Only a few of those could produce an isolated tornado or damaging wind gusts. So the overall threat is minimal at any one given location for an actual severe weather event to be reported, but we likely will see a few reports. So this is around 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. This would be your cold front, lower dew points rushing in behind the front, warmer, more moist air ahead of it. So you can imagine that cold front right in there, and we watch that move to the east as we move through the afternoon hours. Dew points drop considerably by tomorrow evening. That also means colder air moving into the region. Now, another thing we like to look at is CAPE. CAPE is basically energy in the atmosphere. We like to look for numbers in the wintertime of 100, 200, 300. That is sufficient for severe weather. Now, in the spring and summer, we look at 500, 1,000 CAPE, 1,500, 2,000, or 1,500, 2,000 joules of CAPE. But in the wintertime, it doesn't take quite as much CAPE to produce severe weather because the wind fields, the jet stream, is so strong during the winter months. So let's move through this afternoon, and you see CAPE indexes rising quite a bit out to our west and then peaking during the early evening hours. But then we watch as it moves into our region, and this isn't just surface-based CAPE, but this is mid-level CAPE as well. And we see some numbers here in the 3, 4, 500 range. That's sufficient for us to be concerned about possibly some severe thunderstorms. Probably the most the time frame I'm going to be watching for is around 3 a.m. 3 a.m. out to our west, Poplar Bluff, and then to the Mississippi River, probably looking at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 a.m. in the morning, and then possibly clearing Evansville, Kentucky Lake area sometime after 9, 10 a.m., 11 a.m. in the morning. So it will be ending from west to east as we move through the day. Let's look at futurecast radar. Most of you are familiar with radar. Shows precipitation, but this is a futurecast. This is what the models think radar will look like later this afternoon and tonight. We see early this evening, a few showers and maybe some thunderstorms developing over our region, lifting northward. And then we watch as we move through the overnight hours, a few showers moving through, but watch this line as it forms as we move towards the wee hours of Thursday morning, say 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 a.m. We watch that line move across the area. This is around 7 a.m. and you see the line extending from northern Indiana back into far eastern Arkansas and then down into Louisiana. Look at the wraparound snow. Blizzard conditions possible across portions of this area where you see the white, heavy snow, blowing snow, very strong winds. We watch that line move through our region, and then later tomorrow afternoon is when we see that wraparound precipitation. Could be a few snow showers, could be a few reports of snow pellets in the region. Let's take a look at one other thing here. This is temperatures for this afternoon. We watch them rising into the 60s, and then watch the cold front. Here comes the cold front tomorrow morning. Cold air. Temperatures will be falling all through tomorrow afternoon and evening, probably going to be into the 20s by Friday morning. So quite the adjustment in weather conditions from one 24-hour period to the next. One last item I want to show you is the winds. We are expecting very strong winds along and behind the cold front as that area of low pressure winds up over the Missouri Valley into Illinois, and then behind that front, strong winds. This is 20, 30, 40 mile per hour wind gusts as that cold air moves in, westerly winds expect some strong winds throughout the day on Thursday, and these are what we call gradient winds because the area of low pressure is wound up so tight that those isobars are packed together. That produces the strong winds, and we see the winds start to subside as we move into Friday night, but still, as we move into Thursday night, but still some strong winds. So bottom line, for the next 12 to 24 hours, some thunderstorms tonight, Wednesday night into Thursday morning. The primary concern will be damaging winds with a few of the storms, and then strong winds behind the cold front throughout the day on Thursday, 20, 30, 40 mile per hour wind gusts. Can't rule out an isolated tornado in the region tonight. Most likely time period would be somewhere from 2 to 3 a.m. through the 8, 9, 10 a.m. time frame. Again, ending from west to east across the region. Could be some severe thunderstorm watches issued by the Storm Prediction Center, maybe a tornado watch, and we may have a few warnings. We'll just have to see how the thunderstorms develop late tonight and tomorrow morning. If an intense line moves through, then I'm going to expect some reports of wind damage in the region. Listen to local media tonight, leave your weather radios on, and watch for updates. I'll update the Facebook page and have some live threads going over on the Beau Dodson weather Facebook page.